Hello, Mrs. Amir. Look at you patiently waiting for an hour and 41 minutes. I am deeply touched. So, how's my sound? If you're here still, it looks like a couple of people are. Let me get rolling. I'm still spinning out, like my head is just ready to explode. There's too much crap going on, and I'm suspecting that some of my weirdest conspiracy theories are right on the money. So let me get into that first. Let me ask you to hit the like button if you'll be so kind. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hey, Mrs. Amir, how are you? Oh, good for sound. Thank you. Yeah, I still have to do my touch screen thing, which is super annoying because I can't really um, update I can do live chat and I can highlight one comment, but I don't think I can highlight more comments, and it's probably not worth trying because I could just like screw everything up. And we don't want to do that. We want to chill. So make sure you're still subscribed if you are subscribed. And if you're not, please consider doing so. Share a video of mine with somebody that you think might like it. Turn on your notification bell to ring. Everything that I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something, be educational. And all my all my vids are made for YouTube, and it's an infotainment platform. Let's just get funky with it, right? So I have a couple of my little notebooks here. Shall we just dive right in? How are you today, Mrs. Amir? If you care to respond. So I've got my peach sparkling water and I've got regular water. Which shall I drink? And am I kind of blue? My skin? Should I do something with the light? The name they have, Lil, means the one who brings war in South Africa. I'm good, ma'am. Then I don't know what you're talking about there, Mrs. Amir. Let me see if I can highlight it. I'm going to give it a shot. Oh, look, I can replace pin message. Look, I did it. All right, cool. It's always great to learn something new every day. So the name they have, Lil, means the one who brings war. In I don't know what SOTHO is. Like, you're probably not trying to say Swahili. And Lil, I don't know. I'm so confused. So a couple of the crazy conspiracy theories that I've thrown into my content the last couple of days. One of those is about all the airplanes and helicopters that keep dropping from the ether to the dirt. And most, if not all, of the people on these flying vessels lose their lives. So, a couple that I've been very intrigued with, and quite frankly, I have not been able to keep up. There's too freaking many. The one with the 6 people on it in the Catskills of New York. This is some wild crap, you guys. I got into some of the details yesterday of the family that was on the flight. So, of a family of 5, 4 of those 5 family members were on that airplane on, I think it was Sunday on Passover. It was the 12th, and today's the 17th. So going back 5 days. Maybe that's Saturday. Yeah, that's probably Saturday. So it was the mother, the father, the brother who is the oldest, Jared. This is the Groff family, Groff. So Jared was 26, Karina was 25, and then they have an 18-year-old sister. I'm guessing she's 18. She's graduating high school right now. And her name is Annika, and she was not on the plane. But her mom, her dad, her big brother, and her big sister were all on the plane. The brother and sister both had their significant others. So neither of them were engaged, but they were both in long-term relationships, planning engagements for the summer. So Jared, who played basketball for Swarthmore College, where his father also went to college, his father was the one driving the plane. Jared's girlfriend, I mentioned her. I said I was going to look into her some more, and I have. Alexia Cuelladas Duarte, 24 years old, from the country of Colombia. She had literally just attended an event at Harvard that same day that she lost her life. Kind of like an orientation type of thing for admitted students that were planning to be enrolled in the fall, this upcoming fall. So Alexa Cuetas Duarte from Colombia. And this plane landed in Columbia County. It was headed for the Columbia airport. The place where it landed is insane. It's right by not just the border of New York and Massachusetts states, what they call the tri-state point. So Massachusetts, Connecticut, and New York. So it was in the New York part, but very, very close. Kind of a no man's land. You know how I talk about that a lot with jurisdictions for law enforcement, and how state parks are perfect for crimes because of that issue. And this is by several state parks. So the name of the town is Copaka, I think is how you might say it. Oh, that's interesting too, huh? Maybe not Copaka, maybe it's Copake. It's Copake. Maybe not like Brent Kopaka in Idaho or Pullman, Washington. Anyway, where the plane landed is right by the Taconic State Park, which is, I think, still in New York, and then Mount Washington State Park that's in Massachusetts, and Bash Bish State Park, also in Massachusetts. So 3 of the members of that fatal flight were Swarthmore College graduates. So Jared and his girlfriend, Alexia, they were both Swarthmore College graduates, as was his father. So then we've got Karina Groff, who not only got her bachelor's degree at MIT and was currently working on her neuroscience doctoral degree at New York University, she also got a master's degree while at MIT. And that master's degree was in biomed engineering. And right away, I started thinking about the neuroscience that her father specializes in, the biomed engineering that she specializes in. Her mother, I want to say her mother kind of specializes in gynecology, maybe? I'll look at my notes. Her mother's a doctor too that was also on the airplane, and she's from India. So they were Jewish, it was Passover, and they worked in these fields that would be very competitive with the types of things that the big E is doing, right? So Karina's boyfriend that she was going to be getting engaged to is named James Santoro. I still need to learn more about James Santoro, but what I did find out is what he does for a living, which he's an investment banker. The father owns a business called Dynamic Spine Solutions. It's an LLC. So I'm just going to question if this was not an accident, if this was some sort of sabotage. The crash happened about 10 or so miles from the destination, from the airport that it was flying into. The dad radioed the air traffic controllers saying that he missed his opportunity for the landing. And then they tried to get back to him 3 times to tell him that he was flying too low, but they couldn't get through. So sure, I'm going to keep an open mind that it could just be a wild coincidence of who the people were on that plane, and that he missed his opportunity and then things went haywire. But I fully believe, it's my understanding, that it's fairly easy for people to manipulate and scramble your gauges, your instruments. So it was starting to get foggy. The weather conditions were deteriorating, but you can fly an airplane even through a cloud where you can't tell up from down, as long as you know how to read your instruments. But if your instruments are scrambled, you're going down. So, especially based on where it landed, that it was so freaking close to the border, and not just a border, but 2 borders, the tri-state point, and close to these 3 state parks, a mud field. So sure, it's all just a bunch of bad luck. I mean, these people, I was calling them yesterday in my video, the most winningest people. And we know who likes to win all the time, right? And these 6 people, they all could be assets or threats to our current leadership in the government. So let's see what you're saying, Mrs. Amir. The name on the thumbnail of the Photoshop of Trump means the one who brings war. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Amir. I tried looking up what it meant, and Google had no clue what I was talking about. So I was going to ask if anybody knew. You are brilliant. Let's see if I can repin the message. That's awesome information. Yeah, I almost took the word off because I didn't know what it meant, but then I thought, well, I'll ask, and if nobody knows what it means, then I'll take it off after the live. Wow. And so that was the one that you sent me yesterday. Or no, was that the one Anna B sent me? I'm confused. I can't keep things straight. It's a miracle that I can do anything at all. It's good to stay humble, right? I mean, I just get so inspired. I was going to say, I suffer the inspiration of trying to figure all these things out and then try to share the information with you guys. And, a lot of it I figure out while I'm sharing it, and a lot of it I figure out with your assistance. So for that, I thank you. That's the whole point of doing this live, really. I mean, it's great to have the conversation, and it's great to learn from each other. So you're invaluable. And yeah, the links that Anna B sent me yesterday, I had not watched those videos yet, but I'm really interested in watching the videos that she posted on her channel. Basically, she has a very tiny channel. So anybody who doesn't know Anna B's channel, I will put the link in the description for today's video. And I haven't done that yet for yesterday's video, but I intend to. So hopefully I'll get that done later today. Let's see. That is fascinating. The one who brings war. And then remember how he was calling Liz Cheney a war hawk? Like, excuse me, Mr. Warhawk? Like, he just projects so much. And when he's saying like all these criminals that need to be deported and be in prison, who's the criminal that needs to be in prison? Excuse me? OMG. OMG. What a freaking dirtbag. And I think there's a good possibility that he's going down, but I don't want to get my hopes up because he seems to be made of effing Teflon. with a horseshoe in his rear end, right? 3 families wiped out literally at one go. 3 families. Oh, because the members from the 3 families. Yeah. So, like, almost an entire family. Like, how freaking horrifying for Annika, the one who's trying to finish high school. I'm sure she was planning to start college in the fall, but who knows if she'll be unscrambled enough herself to actually do that. She might need to take a bit of downtime. And then, and then the families of the boyfriend and the girlfriend. The Duarte family, I did read a quote by her mother who said that, nobody from the town that they're from in Columbia has pretty much even heard of Harvard, let alone been accepted there. So that was just more to add to the devastation. And then the investment banker, James Santoro. I don't know about his background and his family, but he played lacrosse. He was the star lacrosse player for MIT when Karina was at MIT, being the star soccer player. So then going over to the airplane that went down in Florida a day or two before that. So I think it was like Thursday or Friday last week. And it was a family of 3. It was a grandfather, about 81 years old, according to my research, the dad that was about 54 years old, and then the high school student that was 17 years old. And so their plane crashed 28 minutes north of Mar-a-Lago. And they were from Delray, which is right north of there. And then, what was the other town? Just south of Delray. Let's see if I can look that up on my phone, since my brain ain't answering. It ain't telling me. So that family, let's see. The Starks, I think, is their last name. So the grandfather started a business that then the son inherited. And I don't know if it's one of the family businesses that I found in the area is real estate investors and developers, which that would be crazy if it was, because we know who that would be in direct competition with. We don't even have to think for more than just a freaking second. So let's see. Delray Beach and Boca Raton. So the airplane crashed in Boca Raton. They were headed to Florida State University, I think, for the 17-year-old to visit the campus. I believe that's where their destination was. But Delray Beach is just north of Boca Raton, and Boca Raton is just north of Fort Lauderdale, which is just north of Miami, for anybody who does not know their geography of the southeastern tip of Florida, which I don't. Actually, that's one of the few places in our country that I've never been to. I've been to Florida a lot, but and I've been to the east side of Florida at least a couple of times, but most of the times I've visited Florida, it's been the Gulf of Mexico side. I'm very careful to say the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, so sue me. And then I've been to Orlando, which is a little bit inland, but kind of on the eastern side, and And I don't think I've been south of, let's see, not too far south of Orlando. Wherever that Kennedy Space Center is, Melbourne. I haven't been south of Melbourne. I've been to Melbourne a couple of times. So, anyway, what else? So, I'm very curious if that granddad and dad are the Stark family that owns the investment realtor brokerage. It could be two different families. I don't know. I do not know. I've been trying to figure that out. But let's see what you're saying. That is sus AF. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's just too many crashes, and like the ones that happened in Philly, the ones that happened in DC area, right over the Ronald Reagan airport. We had the terrible crash with the Black Hawk helicopter hitting the American Airlines commercial jet and then the wings that got clipped on those were two American Airline. And again, why are all three of those planes American Airlines, and all involved the Ronald Reagan airport? So the plane that was kind of hit by the other plane that the wings slipped, that had 6 congressmen on it, congresspersons, and congressmen or women, we'll just say, and 5 of them were Democrats, and the only one who wasn't a Democrat was from New York, which 5 of the 6 were from New York, but the one that wasn't from New York was a Democrat, was from Jersey. So basically kind of all the same, in my opinion. It would have been even more suspicious if it was all 6 Democrats. So I don't think that they intended to do anything more than get a message across. So those planes clipped wings, I think, wasn't that just like 2 hours before one of the plane crashes? And which plane crash was that? Was that the one in Florida? I mean, there's too many. There's too freaking many. No, 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 no. It was the helicopter with the family from Spain, with the top shelf executives from Seaman Industries, from an international powerhouse of a company that is in direct competition with everything that the big E owns. Seaman Enterprises is right there with like the biomedics, with flight, with everything that Elon's got his fingers in. Siemens has been long well established. So the dad in that helicopter that went down to about 2 hours, just slightly over 2 hours after the wings slipped at the Reagan airport, and that was over the Hudson in New York City. Then the mom was like in charge of global communications. She was the lead for global communications for Siemens Enterprises. And then the dad was the CEO for the entire company, or at least for the entire company at his location. But I believe it's for the entire company, because they're based in Belgium, but they've got headquarters all over the world. And then the 3 children that were 5 and 9, or 4 or 5, and then 9, and then 11, and then the pilot of that chopper. And I fully believe that that chopper had been tampered with, because the damn thing fell apart. It could have been a bird, but I don't think a bird would have made it fall apart like that. And it could have been bad maintenance, but people don't do bad maintenance on those types of machines. Like my father-in-law was the foreperson at Trident Naval Submarine in Bangor, Washington. And like when you're a mechanic on a submarine, you don't make mistakes. You do not make a single solitary, tiny, itty bitty mistake. You cannot. You have zero margin for error. Any error that you make will cost people their lives. So when I was in Seattle and had my private practice, I had a lot of clients from Boeing. So I had like top executives from Boeing, I had mechanics from Boeing. And again, when you're in a position like that, if you have a piece of metal just the slightest bit off, the entire freaking plane is going to go down and it's going to be on you. So you don't make mistakes. They do make mistakes, unfortunately. I remember the 777 when that came out on 7707. They forgot to order the nuts and bolts, like literally. Nobody ordered any nuts and bolts to attach the fuselage and the wings. So when they did their grand opening or their unveiling of it on 7707, the thing was held together with zip ties. So that was huge. I'm sure a lot of people were fired over that. That was insane. So like I think the fuselage was built in Japan and the wings were built here or vice versa. So then the parts were getting married there in Everett, Washington, just north of Seattle. And the people are like, who's got the nuts, who's got the bolts? And they're like, I don't have them. Do you have them? I don't have them. Who ordered them? I didn't order them. Did you order them? No, I didn't order them. Nobody told me to order them. Crazy. And we all know like Boeing has had a lot of issues with lawsuits and a lot of issues with people mysteriously offing themselves in the middle of their depositions and such, right? Like my headband, I'm just doing all the crazy stuff with my hair. I could have seen my hairdresser today, but then I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be in her chair. And I just got my hair done a couple of weeks ago, but then I was trying to get appointments for my kids and things got confused. So she had somebody from our family scheduled for today at 2, and we had scheduled the one for tomorrow at 11 something. And so she was texting me like, is anybody going to come at 2? And I was like, oh, people are at school, but I could, but you just yazified me recently, so I don't really need it the way I normally do. But I was so tempted. I was like, ooh, I could get double yazified. Anyway, enough about my stupid hair. We're talking about some really important crap. So that's a bad habit that I have, to just like derail myself. I apologize. I think I get kind of scared when I'm like right on something, like part of me just wants to turn it off. Like the stuff with Boeing and the stuff with the chopper that unalived the family of 5 and the pilot. So there were 6 on that chopper. That was the same day as the planes that clipped wings. Direct threats, in my humble conspiracy theory opinion, allegedly. And then the flight that crashed in Boca Raton, 28 minutes from Mar-a-Lago. And then the plane that crashed right next to the freaking tri-state point and 3 different state parks: Connecticut border, Massachusetts border, and New York state border. Kopaki. Total no man's land. Jurisdiction issues. Hello, Anna Bees. Let me get caught up with you. Yes, I sent it to you. Right. But you didn't send it yesterday, did you? I know. Oh, yeah, you did. I remember now, because Anna Bees, she didn't send me the stuff. She put the link in the description. And then at the end of the video, you said, check your email. So, yeah, I have a good reason for crossing my wires this time. And thanks so much for being here, you guys, today and yesterday, and so many days. You guys are amazingly consistent. So, on her community post, yeah, we got to catch up on that. It's extremely traumatic for her indeed. And little T withdrawing Harvard funding. Right, right. Like the timing of these things is effing crazy. And with her being from Columbia, and with her already prior to law school having a specialty in immigration law. Unreal. Totally unreal. And then I want to say she won an award too. Because I know yesterday I was talking about Caitlin Collins being named 30 under 30 in Forbes magazine. I was talking about Karina Groff being named Woman of the Year at MIT in 2022. But I want to say that this girlfriend of Jared's, Alexia Collados Duarte, at 24, I want to say she won an award too. Let me see if I can Google it and find out. Let's see. Alexia. Good thing my Alexia is not anywhere near this room. Okay, so here's an article from just an hour ago in the Miami Herald. Miami woman was about to live her Harvard dream. It's just heartbreaking. She wanted to be a Supreme Court justice, she told her family. A viable goal for Alexia Swarthmore College class of 2023 economics and political science graduate, perhaps a grandiose reach for most. It was not just a good thing, it was the amazing thing. It was the exceptional thing, her oldest sibling, Maria, said. That was her sister's way of setting goals, reach higher. She would make those things happen, she said. It wasn't just like, let me do this one thing. I'll do the most amazing one possible. Alexia and her partner, Jared, a fellow Swarthmore 2022 grad, were inseparable. I think that's the whole article. But yeah, there was more stuff that I wanted to share with you guys. But the stuff that I really want to get to, because we're already like half an hour in, I want to jump tracks to the Russian adoption thing. So yesterday, in one of my videos, or in both of them, I was asking the audience, the viewers, if you guys knew, if you remembered that thing back in 2016. The meeting happened on June 9th, 2016 at the Chump Tower. Let's call it the Chump Tower. And it was 3 senior members of the 2016 Chump campaign. It was Chump Jr., Jared, that would be Ivanka's husband, and then Paul Manafort, and 4 other U.S. citizens. I love it when it's just like other, hashtag other things, other U.S. citizens. Like, well, who were they? Who were they? And an attorney from the former USSR named Natalia Veshitskaya. Can I even give it an attempt? Let's try it. Vehiskaya? Natalia Vehiskaya. Okay, that's all I'm doing. We'll just say Natalia, the attorney Natalia. So, once I finally got some more details and looked it up, it all kind of came back to me. And so this was like a 3-hour meeting, and they were getting grilled about it. And that's the stuff that I want to read to you. So let's do that. And yeah. See what you guys are saying. My stupid headband. I hate headbands that don't have like an elastic sticky thing in them. So they're just like constantly moving in slow motion. It's so annoying, especially when you're doing your yoga. I don't wear this one for yoga. I wear those ones, the Lululemon, as I like to say, that have a little bit of elastic on the underside so they don't move as much. They still move a little, especially when you're moving, doing your yoga. Um, let's see, too many to be coincidence. Hey, K-Mac, I didn't see you come in. Good morning. It's 11:54 here. So you're in like the central time zone of the US of A? Let's see. Good to see y'all. I missed the beginning of this. It is giving me an aneurysm. No, it's giving me like a not a migraine. I've never had a migraine in my life, knock on wood. Got wood right here and right here. But I think that the reason I was feeling so nauseous yesterday is from all the effing gaslighting, and I just want to hurl. And yeah, when I start to talk about it, I like immediately just want to hurl. The situation, like with that Garcia guy from Maryland in El Salvador, who I'm thinking might be, I hate to say that. I hope I'm incorrect, but it's bad. It's really bad. And if he doesn't come back all in one piece, he needs to come back. And we're approaching the 100th day of the implementation of the 2025 project 2025. So like, this is insane. Like, something's got to give. These people need to be arrested. They need to be stopped. They need to be put in prison. And, you know, even those of us that are so against this organized crime ring running our freaking country, we wouldn't put them in an El Salvadorian prison. We would put them in a regular American prison because we're not the freaking monsters that they are. And those El Salvadorian prisons, it's no accident that they look just like the concentration camps from Germany. It's no accident. And there's some really scary stuff going on there, you guys. We'll get into that in a second. Remind me to get into that if I just gotta like have another minute to wrap my mind around it so I don't burst out in tears. I mean, it's fine if I do burst out in tears. That's something that I can recover from pretty quickly, but you know, it's inconvenient. 2:06 p.m. Central Time. Oh, okay, because you've got East Coast, you got Central. Oh, Mountain Time. Mountain Time is the one I was thinking of. But no, the 11:54 would have been West Coast, right? Because that would have been, yeah, that was at like 2:54 East Coast time. So thank you for straightening me out. I was just being all cray cray. So yeah, you got Eastern Standard Time, Central Time, Mountain Time, and then Pacific Coast Time, Pacific Time, I think is what they call it. Anyway, it gets confusing. And oh, Mrs. Amir says 2107 GMT South Africa. I have been so stressed about all these things going on. So yeah, and me too. And you know, yesterday one of my children said to me, you know, this is why I just stick my head in the sand and try not to pay attention. And I was like, well, that's one way to handle it, but you know, I like to know what's going on. So I'm going to stare right down the barrel of that gun and I'm going to freaking kick it. You know, I'm not going to stick my head in the sand. I can't live like that. I can't live like this. Can't live like that. So it's stressful and it makes me feel unwell when I'm hyper focused on it. So I just have to like moderate. You know, I take breaks. I do hashtag other things, you know, get my hair done, eat some healthy food, play with the puppy dogs, do my yoga. I mean, when I do my yoga, I'm like shut off from all this stuff for a few hours. So my yoga is only about an hour and 15 minutes, but it takes at least 2 hours of a break from all this crap because I am extremely interested in it, and I like to sleuth. I like to find out everything I can. I like to feel like I have my thumb on the pulse. So, let's see. I was going to read you some of these weird, stupid things about this Russian adoption meeting. And let's see if I look up. Just going to look up the date, June 9, 2016, because this was, and then I'm going to say Trump Tower meeting. I'm going to try anyway if I don't drop my phone. So I feel like it is still haunting us because it was never dealt with directly. Okay, so first I want to read you what it says in Wikipedia. And it just is called Trump Tower meeting. A meeting took place at the Trump Tower in New York City on June 9th, 2016, between three senior members of the 2016 Trump campaign, Donnie Jr., Jared, and Manafort, four other U.S. citizens, and USSR lawyer Natalia Veselninskaya. The meeting was arranged by publicist and longtime Trump acquaintance Rob Goldstone on behalf of his client, the USSR former singer-songwriter Emin Algalarov, Aglarov. The meeting was first disclosed to U.S. government officials in April 2017, so almost a year later, when Kushner filed a revised version of his security clearance form. Donnie Jr. made several misleading statements about the meeting. He initially told the press that the meeting was held to discuss adoption of Russian children by Americans. On July 8th, 2017, after news reports stated that Donnie Jr. knew the meeting was political, he admitted in a tweet that he had agreed to the meeting with the understanding that he would receive information damaging to Hillary Clinton, and he was conducting opposition research. When the New York Times was about to report on email exchanges between Goldstone and Trump Jr., Trump Jr. himself published the emails. In early July 2017, it was reported that then Presidente Donald Duck himself drafted Donnie Jr.'s initial misleading statement. The report was later confirmed by El Presidente's attorneys. In July 2018, El Presidente denied knowledge of the meeting. Robert Mueller, the special counsel of the DOJ in charge of previous USSR-related investigations, investigated the emails in the meeting and their relation to the previously referred to as USSR interference in the 2016 United States election. Like, this is crazy. History has a way of repeating itself. This is why it's really important to learn from history. I've been listening to iHip News. Oh, aren't they great? I love those biatches. So Annabise is referring to I've Had It. I think it's called I've Had It Politics, right? So that's the IHIP. I've Had It Politics. And it's two women that were like reality TV stars from like the Housewives of Oklahoma or something like that. And they rock. They're really awesome people. in my estimation. They speak very clearly, very aggressively. They don't beat around the bush. The tariff hikes are going to affect so many countries negatively. 12,000 people might lose their jobs in the town that Mrs. Amir she sent me an email about this town, Lesotho, if I'm saying it right. So it's a country where they have factory workers that produce some clothing, and Donnie has some of his very own chump golf course wear made there. And then he says that he's never heard of the country. And it's like, you're a freaking world leader. You don't want to say you haven't heard of countries anyway. If you haven't heard of it, get yourself educated on it. You should know all the freaking countries in the world if you're a world leader, in my opinion. I know there's a lot, and I certainly wouldn't be able to name more than probably 50 myself, but I'm not a world leader. I'm just a mom. Just a mom with a YouTube channel, right? Yeah, the tariff hikes are destroying global commerce, but fortunately, a lot of other countries are just isolating us out of the picture, and they're moving forward in a positive direction. It's bad for us. It's bad for a lot of. It's bad globally, but it's really bad for our country, which I've said it again and again. I fully believe that this administration has the goal of destroying this country, destroying the economy, weakening us so that they can declare martial law, and so that Vladdy can just do whatever the F he wants. And then anybody who speaks out can just go to El Salvador prison. And there's no due process, whether you're homegrown or not. I mean, what a weird thing to call Americans. When he used the term homegrown, like, you could just plug right in there. I think it was Hal Sparks that said it. American citizens. That's the word you're looking for. Not homegrown. American citizens. That's crazy. It's terrible. And the Lesotho just signed a 10-year contract with Starlink. Ugh. Gross MFs. I think they don't have the cojones to cut ties with T&E. Well, and they just might not have the cojones. They might not have the support. They can probably get the support from China and other countries. Hashtag other countries, right? So it's not Lithuania. It's maybe close to there. It's similar. Anyway, yeah, and then all that stuff with the eugenics, that really makes my head spin. So one of the things I don't want to forget to say, this is kind of trivial, but it's not. It's huge. Donnie doesn't drink water. And for anybody who doesn't drink water, that's a really bad idea. That's like having a car and not putting gasoline in it. A lot of people don't drink water, and they have a lot of health problems from it. People say they don't like the taste of water, tastes like socks or whatever. All they want to drink is Coca-Cola or Sprite or coffee or beer or lemonade or whatever. Everything in moderation. And yeah, you don't want to drink too much water. If you drink like a couple gallons of water a day, you can cause major health issues. But you want to drink the amount of water that your body requires each day. And I can't remember the formula. I'm sure Google knows. It's like 8 ounces for every pound or inch or whatever, not 8 ounces, but certain number of ounces for every foot or pound or what have you. So, and then depending on the climate that you're in, depending on your activity level, we're all going to be a lot more thirsty in the summer. And we're all going to be needing a lot more liquid when we're physically active. And we should be physically active every day. But all Donnie drinks is Diet Coke. Oh, and he swears he's never what did it say in his stupid bill of health? Lifelong non-smoker, non-drinker. It's like, well, good. That's really good. Like that, everyone should be so lucky. But he's acting like he's never tried either, and I don't believe that for a second. That just makes me think he's lying, straight up lying. And I don't know if the Adderall stories are true, but they certainly seem like they could be. That he like crushes it up and snorts it or something. Wasn't that Matt Gates who would like, I don't know again if it's rumor or true, that he would like snort crushed up Adderall and maybe Viagra or something. Yeah, I think he sent it to somebody in a text or an email that, yeah. He like one of his coworkers that, he can go all night. He's such a stud. Oh my goodness, I saw him a few days ago. I think it was Hal Sparks was playing him on whatever podcast or TV show he has. And when Hal was playing it, I thought, oh, that's like 20 years ago. He's just a kid. That man, Matt Gates, has had so much Botox. Anybody who wants Botox, I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to get it because he used it all. except we know that Christy Nome, she was able to get her cheeks puffed out right around the same time. So they used it all up. There's none left for anybody else. Have you seen her cheeks? They are like tennis balls. Like she looks like a freaking cartoon. Not tennis balls, but maybe golf balls. Crazy, 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 crazy. And Matt just looks like he's got a baby face. He looks like he's 18 or something. I mean, I think he moved his hairline up a little bit too. I mean, seriously, I thought, oh, this is old. This must be when he first got into the profession or something. And then come to find out that it was like brand new. And I was just like, dear Lord, these people, man. And Anna B says, yes, the IHIP ladies are very interesting and intelligent. Yeah, they kick some butt, in my humble opinion. It's terrible. And Lesotho just signed. Okay, read that one. What is this word? Hypoatrema? And Mrs. Amir retracted a couple of things. Too much water caused. Oh, yes. Thank you. Our resident nurse, Anna B, says too much water causes hypoatremia. We need sodium for heart muscles and all muscles. And yeah, it's also important to know that it's not just water that you need. Actually, sometimes soda pop is good because it has electrolytes. So that's why they always have soda pop in the emergency room, because you need your electrolytes. And they always have it on the airplanes because you need your electrolytes. But you can get those electrolytes in like an emergency packet. It's a brand of stuff. I like those. A lot of people get their electrolytes with Gatorade and stuff like that. And then there's like smart water that's just regular water with electrolytes. So yeah, you need the electrolytes, not just the water. And yeah, you need the sodium at the right dosage. I saw Ian a video high on something. He couldn't even walk straight. Yes, Mrs. Amir, I saw that too. So I was watching a video right before I came on of a channel that I am not familiar with it. It might have been like Rebel Headquarters or something like that. I'll try to put a link to it in the description. And these women were talking about Elon's obsession with making babies. Everybody's talking about that because the Wall Street Journal just published an article about his obsession with reproduction. And, that's where it gets right into the eugenics. And these women were being so mean, beating up on him. They were basically accusing him of being an incel. And then he's got an employee that runs around with a suitcase full of his seeds. And if you want some, he'll let you have some because he needs to populate the earth with mini-me's. Absolutely disgusting. So all of the women that get pregnant with his DNA have to sign non-disclosure agreements. That's what it says in this Wall Street Journal article. And it's like all the rage, like all the channels are talking about it. the last day or two. It's crazy. But yeah, the reproduction, using women's bodies to make babies, and then like, what do you do with the women when you have the baby and they're not needed anymore? Seriously, what do you do with them? Do you put them in a gas chamber? Do you just like drop them by the side of the road? I mean, what is it? Do you send them out to Mars? So on the same channel, I'll see what it is. I'll look at my history on my phone. They were also saying that the whole thing with the Mars talk is just a distraction. It's just propaganda. That's not really what they're aiming for. What Starlink is aiming for, I think, is to take over all of the airplane and helicopter and all of the air traffic. They want to be the ones, just like they want to be the ones for the money. They want to be the ones for internet connection. They want full control of everything in the whole world. And they need to stop. Monopolies are not legal in our country. It's illegal. So I was just going to look up my YouTube history and see what this last video was that I was watching. Okay, it's called The Majority Report, and it's titled Elon's Weird Impregnation Fetish. And yeah, right before that, I was watching Keith Edwards, Elon Musk, high as hell in disturbing video. So yeah. Let's see. We are just at about an hour. I wanted to read a little bit more about the, I think this, the Natalia Veselninskaya. I know that her name used to be kicked around a lot, and that's not how you say it, but I don't know how to say it, so I'm just gonna give it my best shot. And I want to read to you what this is important to me, because I remember I've always going back to the money laundering, because money laundering is usually where organized crime gets busted, because of the paper trail, because it's hard facts. And anyway, Natalia Vladimirovna. Yeah, that was the name that she went by before. Maybe she got married, because it's Natalia Vladimirova Velenskaya. So she's a Russian lawyer. Her clients include an official in a state-owned Russian railway and his son, who she defended against money laundering charge in New York. On the 8th of January 2019, she was indicted in the United States with obstruction of justice charges for allegedly having attempted to thwart the Justice Department investigation into the money laundering charges. Interesting, huh? Her June 2016 meeting with Donnie Jr., Kushner, and Manafort in the Trump Tower attracted attention in connection with the Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. elections, as well as the role of her business contacts at the research firm Fusion GPS in investigating the interference. So Fusion GPS could be something like that can scramble the instruments for helicopters and airplanes too, in my humble conspiracy theory opinion, allegedly, but I'm sure of it. Not to say that I'm always right. Anyway, what was the other thing I wanted to say about all that? That really, when you talk about adoption, that quickly can slide into trafficking. So it's something to consider too when they try to say, oh, well, we were just talking about adoption. It's like, is that code for human trafficking? Disgusting. Yeah, Handmaid's Tale stuff. Yeah, the influencer, he was trying to get pregnant. Handmaid's Tale stuff. Gross. Like, we would like to have a non-cordial, non-athletic, ugly dork kids. Oh, you're so cute, Anna Bees. I love that comment. That is so funny. Would you like to have a baby nerd of your very own that thinks it's really smart? It's like a lot of people think they're really smart, and a lot of people are really smart. But I don't think that the big E has any considerably higher IQ than average, in my estimation. I'm sure he knows things. I'm sure he knows things, and he's got degrees, but he's a dumb MF, in my opinion. He's just an addict. He needs an intervention. He needs to be stopped because he won't stop himself. Tell me about it, Anna Bees. He is a P like his dad. Ah, that's funny. Oh, a pedo? Or perv, a perv. I agree with your opinion. Yeah, they're gross. And they don't like each other, which is funny because a lot of times I think people that are a lot alike don't like people like themselves, don't like each other. So what was the other super important thing that I wanted to touch on? Trump accepted a Purple Heart from a veteran a few years ago. My grandfather earned a Purple Heart. He almost lost his life in the Korean War. What was that, 1953? We went over that one in one of my videos because I had my time frame all wrong. And Brent Kopaka had a Purple Heart too. You have to almost lose your life for a Purple Heart. A Purple Heart means you're a hero. It means that you are willing to give your life and you just lucked out and you survived. They probably give Purple Hearts to the ones that don't survive, I would think, like posthumously. I don't know. But a vet wanted to bestow upon Donnie a Purple Heart, and Donnie had the audacity to accept it. Like, yeah, I'm sure Donnie has had his own challenges as the kid of a multi-millionaire. Life isn't easy for anybody, but he's certainly made it a lot less easy for a lot of people. And for him to go accepting a Purple Heart when he ducked and dodged the draft with his fake freaking bone spurs. If he really had bone spurs, those bone spurs would show up in every single one of his medical assessment clean bills of health. They would say, except for the bone spurs, he's good to go. And if he had bone spurs, he might have a little bit of trouble with the golf. And yeah. And he's so disgusting. He's canceling medical research for diabetes, heart disease, cancer, pretty much everything. He's literally trying to destroy humanity. And I questioned in my second video yesterday if Melania has basically abandoned him and won't deal with him, and that they have a contract that she'll keep the marriage contract, but if he's just feeling so dejected and rejected by her, which is why he's unleashing his fury on the rest of the world, it's sort of like the hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. But wait, he's not a woman unless he is, and he's trans, and that's why he's so up in arms about all this trans stuff. Have you seen JD Vance recently with his mass eyeliner? He looks like, there's this comedian who is extremely pudgy, who wears mass amounts of black eyeliner and pretends to be JD completely over the top. And he looks just like that right now. And when people's faces get really puffy like that, it's like, I always gain and lose weight in my face first. So I know that that's possible for anybody. But when people's faces are really puffy, it makes me wonder if they're drinking excessively. And I'm sure other medications do that too. It's just disgusting, isn't it? So, have I covered all the bases I wanted to cover? I think I have, but let me check my notebooks. They said that Michelle Trachtenberg passed away from complications related to diabetes. I'm interested in learning more about that, if that's true and accurate. And I think I had a second. I have two of these little notebooks. Where'd the other one go? Did it fall? Yeah, it's right below me. And you guys, I gotta show you this. I pulled out my old school. It's like ripped up. The cover comes off of it. I used to have the updated road atlas every year. This one is for 1996. Every year I got a new updated road atlas because I did a lot of driving and I'd like to take road trips, and even if I didn't use it for that, I just liked to know. I love maps. So I don't look at those too often because I look at everything online. And this whole thing with that town, Kopaki, Kopak, it was so hard to tell where it was because of it's really tiny, and it seems like they're being a little bit dodgy about saying exactly where it is because they don't want people to realize how suspicious it is that it's like basically right on the freaking state line. And so I was looking it up online and taking screenshots, and then I just was like, man, I just got to get a real map out and see what it says. So yeah, I don't have anything in that one to share. I think that's everything for the moment. Yeah. It's good to talk with you guys about these things. I'm so freaking concerned about this Garcia man from Maryland. I know that a lot of people are super concerned about him. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. I remember I said, don't let me forget because I'll try to forget. Okay. What should I do to show you guys this? It's really horrific. It is in Boston Brian's video from last night. So I'll put a link in his video. Oh, you know what? I already did. I already put the URL in the description of this video. So Boston Brian did like a 2.5 hour live last night. And at one point he shows a video made by a TikToker who did like uh, a satellite view sleuthing of the prison in El Salvador, and it's horrifying. So that's what I wanted to share with you, that I was going to save to the end, that I was going to try to forget to share with you because it's so horrific. From the photographs that she's found online from the satellite, there's a bunch of burgundy stains in the center of the campus of these detention halls. And it essentially looks like they could be doing mass red rums. That's what it looks like they could be doing. It looks like some of them could be piles of humans. And like I said, I'll just put the link to Boston Brian's video. I think it's gone viral. I think it's everywhere. I think a lot more people are going to keep talking about it. Her video is already like 3 days old, but the first time I heard about it was in Boston Brian's live last night. So I hate to say this, and I hope that I'm proven wrong. I think that there's a possibility that Garcia could have already expired, and that's why they wouldn't allow I think it was a senator that went down there to try to see him or speak with him, and they wouldn't let him do either. They wouldn't even let him speak to him on the phone. So is it because he can't speak? Is it because he's not there? It doesn't make any sense. And just that weird caginess of Trumpster fire and the El Salvadorian president, when they were like playing hot potato, like, well, I can't do anything to bring him back. Can you do anything to bring him back? No, I can't do anything to bring him back. Who can do anything to bring him back? I don't think anybody can do anything to bring him back. It's like, well, are you letting the cat out of the bag? Are you essentially like telling on yourself? Because we all know that the criminals always do. I think they were just trying to be very intentionally disrespectful to the judge for the judge's orders, and they were just kind of playing cat and mouse and having fun with it. But I think they also told on themselves. Oh, so yeah, let's wrap up before my headband slides up some more. And I was going to show you guys my cool jewelry. This necklace was one that I made. I think I made it like days before I started my channel. It's so unusual from anything I've ever made before it or even since. And it's like labradorite, I think. That's probably the same stone that's in this little basket necklace. Let me see if I can get close so you guys can see. So this one is the one with the black pearls that I've been wearing the last few days. This one has like a little gold basket around what is probably labradorite, I think. And then this one is like wood and paper and metal, and then the labradorite. And I can't tell what the two gemstones are above and below the labradorite. And it's too short for me to look and identify it, but maybe I can take it off. And then these are like turquoise and pearl, and they're little tiny baskets. My mother gave them to me like probably 35 years ago, more than 35 years ago. Let's see if I can identify the gemstones. A pearl, and I think peridot. Peridot is my birthstone. Is it peridot or is it blue? Yeah, it's peridot. So we got pearl, peridot, and the labradorite. And so I just got all crafty with these jump rings and glass beads and wooden beads and tying knots with the rope that's like probably made of paper or hemp and dyed green. Isn't that cool? I used to wear it a lot. If you've watched my channel for a while, you recognize it, right? It was hiding and I forgot about it because I have so many other cool necklaces that I've had fun making and wearing. So yeah, these little basket earrings are hilarious because they're like, it looks like eggs in a basket. And let me see if I have a black thing to show them against. It's like three little pearls in a basket. It kind of reminds me of like a fishing basket. But yeah, very appropriate right now with all the situation with the eggs. And, I said it last week. I haven't talked about it that much, but I really do believe that whole situation with the price of eggs is, again, hiding in plain sight and metaphorical. And it's more about the eugenics than it is about groceries. It took me long enough to have that suspicion. And then as soon as I had it, which was about a week ago, I was just like, oh, I hope I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. I think that that's exactly what that is. And that the people that are in the know are just like giggling. They think it's so cute that they're like, look at us hiding in plain sight, talking about the price of eggs. Like we're talking about grocery store eggs when what we're really talking about is the price of eggs from the highest quality of genetic material that you could find. And what is it with these megalomaniacs that think that they own everything and that they should be the ones to profit from the transaction of these things? Like they want to harvest eggs and then sell the eggs and pocket the money, just like they want to harvest the Lilith, for the lithium batteries. I call it Lilith. They want to harvest that from anywhere on Earth or other planets, hashtag other planets. And they think that they have the access to it. They think that they own it. They think that it's theirs to profit from. It's like it literally belongs to the Earth, and the Earth needs it. And if you get greedy and take too much, you're going to destroy your planet. But I know that you don't care because you think that we can just go get another planet, which is ridiculous. Even if we could get another planet, let's just take care of this one too, because it's really nice and it's been good to us. Right? Anyway, I'm going to wrap up. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Hunger Games. Yes, yes, yes. Gosh, I'm sorry. I've missed a whole bunch. Let's see. And it's not going to let me scroll. If they do Red Rum, all of us, what are they going to do? Let me see. I should be able to scroll, right? I don't want to mess things up. There. Okay. Yeah. Handmaid's Tale stuff, gross. It's really gross. And yeah, when that book came out, as creepy as it was, it seemed so far-fetched. It seemed like it was out, I was gonna say out in Mars, and that's getting closer and closer. Like we would like to have, yeah, okay, I missed that one, but I saw that one. And I can't believe that he accepted that Purple Heart. It's disgusting. And of course, I can believe that the veteran wanted to give it to him because a lot of people idolize him. They just think he's some kind of stupid apprentice god. It's ridiculous. They're just, it's sad that people are so easily fooled. I mean, he is so much like the Wizard of Oz, is he not? He's just some small little douchebag hiding behind the curtain with this big voice, pretending to be something he's not because he's so insecure, and his freaking wang is so freaking small. I bet you it's not even this big. And that's the real issue. Just gotta say it. Yeah, the smaller the wang, the bigger the truck, right? The bigger the truck, the smaller the wang. OMG. And yeah, the whole MAGA machine, the automobile is the F-140, the Ford F-150, sorry. Big old truck. Because they all got small wings, or they're just doing that to compensate for Donnie's. Yeah, 1 second, I'm just wrapping up. Let's see. Yes, that is a telltale of alcohol overconsumption. Yeah, the puffiness, especially the puffiness of the eyes, which Donnie has a lot of. Here we call it Fooza face. Most people do look like that if they abuse alcohol. Did map reading in high school. Love it. Love using Google Maps too. Oh, I am obsessed with maps. I love knowing the geography and how things are all interconnected. And, it's hard to picture it a lot of times. And then it's nice to get that overview. The bird's eye view, as I call it. Hunger Games stuff for sure. He may be already gone. I hope not. Because he's deleted. Yeah. You guys both think so. I know. I'm afraid of that. I hope that that's not the case, but I'm thinking that it is, and they're just trying to be all cute and coy about it, like they're just being goofy. It's like trying to hide it with their goofiness. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Amir. The necklace is beautiful. I love it. I love my jewelry. Oh, and the bracelets. So these two gold ones were my mother's, so I kind of inherited them when she passed away. And then this is the one that I made 3 times. I had to remake it, and then just a couple days ago. And then these two I made on one of my last jewelry, getting crazy with the suffering inspiration. I think I made like 4 or 5 in a day, and I think I did that a couple of days in a row. And yeah, I can't part with any of them. Maybe I'll try starting to part with some of them and doing my free giveaways. I know I mentioned that recently and I haven't followed up because I've been like, no, I need to keep all of my jewelry. Let's see. Use Google Lens if you use Android to identify your gems. Yeah, I know you can do that. I've never done anything like that, but that would be cool. This janky carnival ride is very trashy and I want to get off. Yeah, I mean, he's the freaking trash man, Trumpster fire in his little trash man costume when he's not being the French fry goofball. What other costumes has he worn? French fry goofball, trash man goofball. Can't think of any others. The kissing of the firefighter helmet on the stage, like that was gross. It was almost like he licked it. And sometimes he does that to the flag. It's like, don't don't essay the flag like that. Oh, like he assaulted that freaking poor microphone podium. That was like Sunday before the election. Right. And he won as if anybody's going to vote for the guy who blows the freaking microphone. No, honey, I don't think so. You just gave yourself away again. Just told on yourself again. Just keep telling on yourself. I was going to say something about his pee, but it was way too much and mean. Oh, just say it. Say it. That's the note we'll end on. It's exactly like the Wizard of Oz. If it makes you happy, keep them the president costume. Oh, that's a good one. Let's highlight that. Yeah, and that stupid red tie. He was twinning the other day. I think it was with Netanyahu. They were like identical twins sitting there in their yellow chairs in the Oval Office. They both had like the navy blue suits with the white shirt. And I can't remember if it was red ties. I think it was the typical jumbo red ties. And they looked like they were mirroring each other like little kids. Crazy. Okay, this thing is bugging me. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Love and light. Thanks so much for being here, people. You guys are the bomb diggity. And yeah, I think that we'll get to some bracelet giveaways soon. Clown ties. Yeah. Yeah, I think clowns, I think of jokers, absolute jokers. And I think of all these really ghoulish, dark, sinister cartoon characters. Or like Scooby Doo. They pull off the mask at the end. Oh, look, it was me all along. Bye, everyone. Have a great day. Love and light. See you on the next one. Drink your water, eat your veggies. And thanks so much for watching.